or welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host. My name is Victoria Daisy, and today we're going to be recapping everything that happened last night on NXT. But before we dive deeper, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right in, because the opening segment was with Javon Evans and Laredo Kid. We know that they have a match coming up this Saturday at Worlds Collide. It's a fatal 4-way for Ethan Page's NXT North American Championship. It'll be Ethan Page, Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Dragon Lee. So they started off the show with this segment, and before anyone could even talk, Ethan Page came out. This dude literally came out to complain about all of his upcoming matches, and he was getting Dom level heat. I mean, you're a champion, why the hell are you complaining? But crybaby, I guess. And then all three of them started trash talking. Javon said he was going to take Ethan's title on Saturday at Worlds Collide, throwing threats. And then Sean Legacy came out. And for those who don't know, Sean Legacy is the #1 contender for that championship after Worlds Collide. So he came out to say that whoever wins on Saturday, he's coming for them and the title. He then announced that he has a chance to become a double champion because tonight, well, he said tomorrow night, but today because it's Wednesday, he has the chance to become a double champion because he is in the running for the Evolve Championship. But then the Vanity Project interrupted. For those who don't know, it's one of the newer factions over at Evolve. And they came out to let Sean Legacy know that one of their guys, and I'm only saying one of their guys because I don't know their names. I'm so sorry. I need to learn. But I don't know their names. So one of their guys is going to end him and take the Evolve Championship with him. I'm assuming that one of them are in that match tonight. They also wanted to let everyone know that they got Ethan Page's back. And when that happened, they all attacked everybody. And it was almost like Ethan and the Vanity Project versus everybody else. Then the next match of the night, we had some guys from Chase U versus Dark State. Now, you guys know how much I love Dark State. And so I was very excited when their names came up in a match. I also don't mind Chase U. I think this new version of Chase U 2.0, if you want, I think it's a way better version of Chase U. And so I really, really like Kill Dixon and Uriah Connors. And Andre Chase is, he's an icon in his own way. But Dark State, though, they are legit icons. And I was so excited to see them kind of have that match. And, it was a really good match. I thought both teams worked so well together and truly put on a great match. In the end, Dark State did take that W, but for some reason, I just feel like Andre Chase might turn on Kale and Uriah at some point because he's kind of aggressive with them. And at certain points, Kale or Uriah would want to tag him in and he would move away and kind of bail on them a little bit. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? I don't know. At some point, we might get an Andre Chase heel turn, and I'm kind of here for it. Then after that, we had a match between Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne. Now, this was a rounds match. So there were 6 3-minute rounds, and the stipulation is if Miles Bourne won, then Charlie Dempsey would be out of the NQCC. Now, this was a very interesting match. Matches like this with the 6 3-minute rounds are again interesting because it's not a traditional match. So the layout of it's very interesting. The spots have to be adjusted. But I was low-key on the edge of my seat to see what was going to happen towards the 3rd round because the end of the 2nd, beginning of 3rd got very aggressive, very heated. You could tell everybody was frustrated. It was definitely a sight to see. And I was very shocked that I guess that they acted like that with each other. I don't know. There was just real animosity in the ring and I was shook. But in the end, Miles Bourne won, which means, according to that stipulation, Charlie Dempsey is out of the NQCC. Now, will that for sure happen? I don't know. We'll have to tune into NXT next week to see. But I definitely do think that that's a very interesting stipulation to put. And I'm very intrigued to see what the dynamic of the no quarter catch crew will look like from here on out. The next match of the night was actually a debut match for the opponent of Miss NXT, Ariana Grace. She went up against the LFG Season 1 winner, Tyra May Steele. Now, for those who don't know Tyra May Steele and didn't watch LFG, first of all, what are you doing? LFG was so good. I love that show. They are currently filming season 2, so don't worry, you won't be missing out too much, but I definitely suggest going and watching back season 1 because it was so good. But Tyra May Steele is formerly an Olympic gold medalist, or not formerly, she is an Olympic gold medalist, and she was on the Undertaker's team. She made it all the way to the LFG finals where she faced Xena Sterling in the theater at Madison Square Garden. It was electric, and you can now still watch LFG season 1 on demand on Annie. I definitely suggest you do that because it was so good. I love LFG because, for those who don't know, it is a competition show, and whoever wins at the end, there's one male, one female who wins, and at the end they win an NXT contract. So her alongside Jasper Troy won the NXT contract, won the show, and it was such a fun show because you get to see the in-depth process of how to become a WWE superstar, how to train, and you get to see their journey outside of WWE, in WWE, all the way to how they got to here. It was really cool. So, but to this match, I thought that this match was really good. I thought that Tyra and Ariana worked so well together. I definitely do think that Tyra definitely dominated this match, but Ariana did get some fun spots in there. And I really enjoyed this pairing, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Tyra May Steele. And in the end, she did win that match because, of course, she gets those W's. Next, we had a huge segment. This was probably the main headline of the entire show, and you'll see why in a second. We had a Fatal Influence slash JC Jane segment. So she called out all the fans for hating on her for 4 years, and now all of a sudden wanting to be bandwagon fans since JC winning the NXT Women's Championship. She said that last week she was able to pull off the best moment in NXT history by beating Stephanie Vaquer for the NXT Women's Championship. The crowd was giving her like Dom level treatment and wouldn't let off. It was hysterical. And then Lainey Reed interrupted. Now, for those who don't know, Lainey Reed, she is my queen. I freaking love her. I think she has such a bright future ahead. And, you know, this is just the very beginnings of it. And I was so excited to see her on TV. But then all hell broke loose because one after the other, Lola Vice, Jordan Grace, Jada Parker, Kalani Jordan, Lash Legend, and Thea Hale, 6 women plus Lainey is 7, all came out for the same reason because they believe they deserve a shot at JC Jane's NXT Women's Championship. They all want the gold. They all start yapping and arguing, and then it goes silent. The lights go out, and I was like, what is happening? At first, I thought they went to commercial break because it got that silent. And I was like, okay, what's happening? And there she was. The glamour. Mariah May made her NXT debut. Now, literally just 3 days ago, I had made a video on social media talking about the fact that she had just left AEW and now she's in NXT. I mean, WWE moves quick as hell from what I'm seeing. Then Mariah got on the mic to announce that she is home and she is going to be the next NXT Women's Champion. She then said, quote, "The best women's division in the world just got a lot more glamorous." And I am so excited for her future here in the WWE. I just know that this is a lifelong dream of hers, and I think she's going to do such great things. I loved her time in AEW. I think she's a great wrestler, a great storyteller, and I can't wait to see. I think there's a lot of potential matchups that are going to be so good for her in NXT and in the main roster. And I simply cannot wait. I'm just over the moon that she is here. And, you know, with making room by calling up Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez. Also, I thought Jordan Grace was getting called up, but I guess not. Whatever, it's fine. Still very excited. I think there's a lot more room now for her to boost to the top. And I guess JC Jane is just our bridge champion for now, unfortunately. But let's move on into the next match of the night. We had a 6-man tag match. Actually, No, it's not a 6-man tag. It was an 8-man tag match. We had Ethan Page and the Vanity Project versus Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, Sean Legacy, and Dragon Lee. Now, this was a really, really great match. Fantastic spot after fantastic spot. I loved how they all worked together to truly create magic in the ring. Specifically, though, I felt like the swipe right guys really worked well with Javon Evans and Laredo Kid. And in the end, though, Javon, Laredo, Sean, and Dragon all took the W. It was a fantastic match filled with action. I truly didn't feel like there was a second where I was bored at all. So if you haven't seen that match, definitely go watch it. And now for the main event, we had the TNA World Championship on the line. Trick Williams defending against Mike Santana. This was such a fun matchup. I love both of these wrestlers so much, and I thought that they worked so well together in the ring. And I just have to say, I love how intense Santana is and how he is in the ring. And at some point, to be quite honest with you, I think he was tiring Trick out. I think he was kind of out wrestling Trick. Dare I say. And then we had, oh my God, this was so funny. This made me pop. AJ Francis and Casey Navarro came out to attack Santana to help Trick. And when I saw AJ Francis on the screen, I was like, hell yeah, let's go. I was like, not that I would never expect him to come back, but I don't know. I just thought it was funny seeing him there. And then, Trick used that to his advantage to win. And now Trick Williams and Elijah will go face to face for the NXT World Championship this week. I believe it's on Friday for one of their shows. I don't remember what it's called, but it's for that. And I'm so excited. I cannot wait for that. But let's head into my overall thoughts. I thought it was a pretty solid show. My match of the night was hands down the TNA World Championship match between Trick and Santana. I loved all the action in the ring, and I thought that they truly put on a banger. And then my segment of the night literally was none other than the kind of all women segment, but mainly the Mariah May segment, if you want to call it that. We had the debut of none other than the glamour Mariah May, like I just said. And I am just so excited. I just kind of talked about it seconds ago, but I am just very excited that she's here. Overall, I'd rate the show about a 7.5 out of 10, continuing up in the higher rankings. Also, don't forget to stream Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank this Saturday. Worlds Collide being at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, and Money in the Bank at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, both exclusively streaming on Peacock Netflix for international fans. It's going to be such a great weekend full of wrestling, and I cannot wait. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode where I will be recapping everything going on during AEW Dynamite tonight. I'm very excited, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!